You're standing in the kitchen, scrolling Instagram after a long day, and you see it again. Someone you went to high school with is on their third vacation this year. Different country, different resort, same living my best life caption. Yesterday they posted their new car. Last month it was a luxury apartment tour. Meanwhile, you're looking at your bank app thinking, I literally got anxious buying a $20 takeout. How are they affording all this? You start doing the math in your head, and it doesn't add up. You know what they make. You know they don't own a business. They're not a tech founder. They're not a day trading genius. But somehow they've got the car, the trips, the restaurants, the clothes. And you start turning on yourself. Am I just doing life wrong? Am I behind? Is everyone secretly rich except me? That little pit in your stomach, that mix of confusion, jealousy, and shame, that's exactly what this video is about. My name's Charlie, and I spend way too much time thinking about how they afford it, the fake rich illusion. If you're someone who feels like everyone around you looks financially successful while you're quietly stressed about bills, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Because this is not just about money. This is about how your brain gets tricked into copying people who are winning on camera and losing on paper. Here's the thing. A huge chunk of what you're seeing as rich is not wealth. It's financing. It's carefully structured debt, timing, and presentation. Nearly 67% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck right now. Almost a quarter of U.S. households fall into paycheck to paycheck mode, where they're spending more than 95% of their income just on necessities. At the same time, credit card balances in the U.S. are over $1.2 trillion, with the average cardholder sitting around $5,500 to $6,500 in credit card debt. The average car payment for a new vehicle, around $700 to $750 a month. So when you ask, how do they afford it, the uncomfortable answer is, often they don't. The math only works if you zoom in on the lifestyle, not the balance sheet. Now look, this is not a video to shame anyone. This is not those dumb people and their expensive cars. This is about pulling back the curtain on the illusion so you stop comparing your real life to someone else's highlight reel financed at 9.9% APR.
Here's what most people don't realize. There are 3 completely different games people are playing with money. Game 1, looking rich. Game 2, feeling rich. Game 3, being rich. Looking rich is about the image, the car, the clothes, the vacations, the apartment. Feeling rich is about not being stressed over every purchase, feeling safe, having breathing room. Being rich is about actual net worth and time freedom. And most people are sacrificing feeling rich and being rich so they can look rich to other people who are secretly broke. Let's walk through how the fake rich illusion is built step by step. Imagine someone making $70,000 a year. After taxes, let's say they bring home around $4,300 a month. On social media, that sounds like comfortable middle class. In reality, here's how fake rich happens. They finance a new car. Average new car payment, roughly $700 to $750 a month. Now their status symbol eats nearly 20% of their take-home before gas and insurance. They rent a nice apartment for $1,800 a month because I work hard, I'm not going to live like a college student forever. That's $2,550 gone. Throw in $300 for utilities and internet, $500 to $600 for food, $150 for subscriptions and random digital junk, and now they're at around $3,600 to $3,700. They've got $600 to $700 left, but they also have an average credit card balance, say $6,000. Minimum payments might be $150 to $200. So after everything, they've maybe got $400 to $500 wiggle room in a good month. Vacations? Clothes? Eating out? That's going on credit or burning through that tiny leftover. From the outside, this looks like they're doing really well. From the inside, they're one emergency away from panic. That's the illusion. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but some people really are killing it, right? Not everyone is fake rich. Totally true. There are absolutely people with high income, high savings, and high net worth. But here's where it gets interesting. Those people are not usually broadcasting the most dramatic lifestyle upgrades online because their identity is anchored to net worth, not aesthetics. The louder someone's lifestyle looks relative to what you know about their income, the higher the odds you're looking at the fake rich version, not the real thing.
Let's dig into the psychology behind this, because this is where most people get trapped. First psychological driver, status signaling. Humans are hardwired to signal status to their tribe. Thousands of years ago, it was physical strength, resources, land. Today, it's cars, phones, watches, vacations. When people feel insecure inside, they compensate outside. The moment they feel behind, the urge to visually catch up kicks in. And because easy credit exists, the gap between what they can actually afford and what they can make look affordable gets filled with debt. Second, social comparison. Your brain is running a constant background process. How am I doing compared to everyone else? The problem is, your brain doesn't compare balance sheets, it compares visuals. It compares a number in your banking app to a picture on someone's feed. That's not a fair comparison. You're seeing 100% of your reality and about 5% of theirs. When everyone around you appears to be upgrading, better car, nicer place, more trips, you start to feel like you're the only one still playing the save and be responsible game. So you either join them or you feel like a failure. Most people join them. Third, pain avoidance. Money stress hurts. Feeling less than hurts. You'd think people would fix this by getting their finances in order, but that's long-term, slow, and not exactly sexy. It's way easier to temporarily numb the pain with a dopamine hit, a purchase, a trip, a flex post. That purchase says, "Look at me, I'm fine," even if they are absolutely not fine. Here's what most people don't realize. Fake rich is not a money problem at the core. It's a feelings problem. It's an identity problem. The debt and the payments are symptoms. Let's talk about the actual math of looking rich versus being rich. Person A, fake rich, makes $80,000 a year, spends $750 a month on a car, spends $2,000 on housing, carries $7,000 in credit card debt at, let's say, 20% interest, paying $200 a month, saves or invests basically nothing consistently. Person B, boring rich in training, makes the same $80,000 a year, drives a used car with a $300 payment or no payment, spends $1,400 on housing instead of $2,000, keeps credit card balances at zero and uses them only for points, invests $1,000 a month into index funds. On the outside, person A looks like the winner. On the inside, here's the math over 10 years. Person A never gets out of the hole. They keep paying high interest, constantly resetting their progress every time they upgrade. Person B, investing $1,000 a month at a 7% return, ends up with roughly $172,000 after 10 years. That's just math, no secret hacks. Now, look, someone is already thinking, must be nice to afford $1,000 a month to invest. That's exactly the point. The capacity to invest was created by not buying into the fake rich illusion. The money is already there. It just gets redirected away from status signaling toward actual wealth. This is where it gets interesting. The fake rich and the actually on-track rich often have similar incomes in the beginning. The difference is where their pain shows up. Fake rich experience short-term comfort and long-term anxiety. Quiet rich in progress experience short-term restraint and long-term freedom. The cruel part is that the fake rich get all the applause early and all the pain later. The quiet rich get all the skepticism early and all the options later. Let's connect this to some real current numbers so this doesn't stay theoretical. About 67% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Nearly 24% of households overall and about 29% of lower-income households are classified as paycheck to paycheck, meaning more than 95% of income is going straight to basic expenses. Meanwhile, credit card debt has hit record levels, over $1.2 trillion total, with an average balance per person around $5,500 to $6,500. So statistically, when you see the nice car, the big house, the constant travel, the base rate assumption should not be, oh, they must be rich. The base rate assumption should be, there's a decent chance this is leveraged, stretched, and fragile. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so what do I do? Just never buy anything nice ever again? No, the answer is not no fun forever. The answer is understanding the order of operations. You build the foundation first. You enjoy the flexes from a place of strength later. Think of it like building a house. The fake rich are carefully decorating a house that has no foundation. It looks great on day one. The photos are amazing. But the first storm, the first job loss, the first medical issue, and the whole thing starts to crack. The real rich by design people pour concrete first. It's boring. No one drives by a hole in the ground and says, wow, look at that sexy foundation. But that's what keeps the house standing over decades. So what does pouring concrete look like in money terms? Step 1. Brutally honest net worth check. Net worth is not salary or how nice your stuff looks. It's assets minus liabilities. Add up your cash, investments, home equity if you own, retirement accounts. Subtract all your debts, student loans, car loans, credit cards, personal loans, buy now, pay later, everything. If that number is negative or close to zero, your job is not to look rich. Your job is to fix that number. Step 2. Map your fake rich leaks. Where is your money going to signal status rather than serve your life? That might be a car that's more about what it says to other people than what it does for you. Rent in a building that's mostly Instagrammable amenities. Subscriptions and shopping that are more about boredom and anxiety than genuine value. When you cut this stuff, you're not giving up your lifestyle. You're giving up an illusion that's quietly taxing your future. Step 3. Flip your ratio. Invest more than you impress. Here's a simple rule. If your car payment plus flex spending, restaurants, clothes, gadgets, vacations, is higher than what you're investing each month, you are probably feeding the fake rich version of you instead of the future rich version. If you're investing $200 and spending $800 trying to look successful, your priorities are backward. The goal is to eventually have your monthly investments exceed your flex spend, not from day one, but as a direction. Step 4. Build a boring buffer. A huge part of feeling rich is not being terrified of surprise expenses. You want at least a small emergency fund, $1,000 to $2,000 at the absolute minimum, then working toward 3 to 6 months of expenses. That buffer is not just financial, it's psychological. It gives you permission to think long-term. Remember, people who feel poor tend to use money to escape their feelings. People who feel safe use money to build freedom.
Now look, let's address the classic objection. But I like nice things. I don't want to wait until I'm 60 to enjoy my money. Nobody is saying you have to. The whole point of escaping the fake rich trap is so you can enjoy your life more, not less. The difference is timing and sequence. Fake rich sequence, impress now, stress later. Real rich sequence, stabilize now, enjoy bigger, safer later. Here's what most people don't realize. Once your investments and net worth pass certain thresholds, doing rich-looking things doesn't actually hurt you much. A $3,000 trip hits totally differently when you're worth $400,000 than when you're worth negative $20,000. Same trip, completely different reality. There's also a hidden cost to being fake rich that almost nobody talks about. You destroy your future flexibility. When you lock yourself into a $700 car payment, a high-rent apartment, and recurring luxuries, you eliminate your ability to take risks.
You can't quit a job you hate. You can't start a business. You can't take a sabbatical. You're owned by your overhead. Real wealth is not just about more stuff. It's about more options. So practically, how do you step out of the fake rich illusion if you're already in it? First, you swallow your pride. You accept that you might need to downgrade some visible parts of your life to upgrade the invisible parts. That might mean selling the car and getting something cheaper, moving to a less flashy place, saying no to certain trips. To your ego, that feels like going backwards. To your balance sheet, it's the first time you're actually moving forwards. Second, you set one aggressive but realistic target that has nothing to do with how things look. I want my net worth to increase by X this year. It could be 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, depending on your situation. Everything else, what you drive, where you live, what you post, becomes subordinate to that. Third, you curate your environment ruthlessly. If your entire feed is filled with flex content, your brain will normalize fake rich behavior. Follow people who show the boring stuff, paying off debt, stacking investments, living below their means. You need your normal to shift. Fourth, you rewire what impresses you. Instead of being impressed by a $900 car payment, be impressed by someone maxing their retirement accounts. Instead of envying someone's $5,000 vacation, think, I wonder what their net worth is. Not in a judgmental way, but as a reminder to yourself, the scoreboard that matters is not visible. Now you might be thinking, but what if I do all this, live below my means, skip some fun, and then something happens and I never get to enjoy it? That's the fear that keeps a lot of people stuck. And yes, life is uncertain. But here's the thing, life is uncertain either way. You can be uncertain and broke, or uncertain and financially stable. One of those gives you more options to respond when life throws stuff at you. The fake rich illusion sells you certainty in the present. Look, everything is good. I have the nice things. Real wealth builds you resilience for the future. Here's where this gets really interesting on a psychological level. Once you stop trying to keep up, you remove an enormous amount of pressure you didn't realize was there. You stop needing your lifestyle to prove anything. You stop buying things to send a message. You stop playing an unwinnable game where the rules keep changing and the prize keeps moving. And then, ironically, you start making the kind of decisions that actually lead to the thing you wanted in the first place: freedom, peace, and the ability to say yes or no from a place of strength.
So, the next time you catch yourself thinking, how do they afford it? Pause and reframe the question. Instead of, how can I afford to do what they're doing, ask, do I even want their actual life or just the photo version of their life? Because the photo version doesn't show the stress, the arguments, the payments, the sleepless nights, the tightness every time the credit card bill hits. The photo version doesn't show Bank of America or TransUnion quietly tracking another person contributing to that $1 trillion+ in credit card debt, or another household one step away from paycheck to paycheck collapse. Your job is not to win the photo game. Your job is to win the freedom game. If this hit a little close to home, that's good. It means the illusion is cracking. When this video ends, here's what to do. Open your banking app and your credit accounts. Write down, on paper, your total debt, your total savings, and your total investments. Circle the number that actually makes you feel safe. That's your scoreboard now. Then pick one fake rich element to attack this month. Maybe it's the car, maybe it's the apartment, maybe it's the mindless shopping. Reduce it, downgrade it, or kill it completely. Take the difference and send it to debt payoff or investments. Make that your first act of stepping out of the illusion. You are not behind because you don't have what they have. Most of them don't actually have what they show. You are behind if you keep playing their game instead of building your own. So if you're ready to stop looking rich and start getting rich, quietly, Steadily and on purpose, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and drop a comment with the one fake rich habit you're ready to walk away from. Because the second you stop needing to impress people who aren't paying your bills, you finally start building a life that actually belongs to you.